Hello, hi, welcome back everybody to yet another cooking stream. I hope you're all having a beautiful Friday today. And if you're not, that's about to change because you're here. Welcome, welcome. How is everybody doing today? Let's see who's already in chat and ready to go. Hello Holkin, hello Dosky as usual, lovely to have you. Brave Asperia, hello, hello, welcome, welcome. The Evil Dead 37, hi. Hello Braven, good afternoon to you as well. I was feeling, I don't know why, I was feeling the muscle shirt today. I wanted to show off these bad boys, these guns on Twitch. I'm not sure if that's allowed, but I'll push the boundaries anyways. You want your NASP 2 local? Excellent. Very proud of you. Amazing stuff. Kangaroo tattoo is sick. I'm very proud of it. I'm very happy about it. You're eating a pre-made salad right now with a crying emoji. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I hope you're able to feast with your eyes instead for what we'll make today. I saw curry, and you're not in curry for nothing, sure. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what we are going to be doing today. So this is going to be something that I'm actually finally excited to be able to properly expand into. I don't get to make a lot of Indian food at home because I never really was able to stock up on things that I needed. But for today, I did buy some mustard seeds. Unfortunately, I've realized I bought yellow mustard seeds and not black mustard seeds. So we'll have to substitute by using more mustard seeds to compensate for the lack of flavor. And we also have some garam masala, which is of course essential. I'm really excited for today. So the first dish is going to be an aloo or potato beans curry. And the idea behind this was I looked at my fridge and I was like, oh shit, I have to use up a bunch of cilantro and I have a bunch of green beans I need to use up. I have all of these green beans. And I was like, you know what? I want to do green bean curry of some kind. And thus, here we are, a little potato and green bean curry. We're going to basically make a super flavorful paste out of some tomatoes and onions, and some chilies that I have. We're gonna blend it down. We're going to fry some spices in oil. We're going to fry the potatoes in the oil. We're gonna add the green beans. We're gonna add the roasted tomato puree that we're about to make. It's gonna be full of flavor. It's gonna be super warm and super comforting. So I'm really excited about that. And so the first step for that is going to be actually doing the tomatoes. In order to get a little bit of extra flavor in there, what I really like doing is to char the tomatoes. I do salsas the exact same way. I'm going to take a bunch of tomatoes, we're gonna cut them in half, we're gonna pop them under the broiler so we burn the hell out of the skin, and then we're going to blend it up into a really flavorful and delicious paste. Almost like we're starting a salsa, but not really. And then we gotta chop up a whole bunch of vegetables, and then to eat alongside the curry, we'll make a little coriander rice. I have some basmati rice. We're going to basically make a mock coriander chutney, not exactly a coriander chutney, but it's gonna have a couple of things missing, but it's going to get cooked into the rice. We'll make a super flavorful base with some aromatics, with some cumin seeds, with some onion, fry it all together and mix that into the rice. So we're going to get the super green, vibrant, delicious rice, and alongside it is going to be this very tomatoey, really spicy curry. So I'm excited. Now, let's get started, my friends. We gotta do the first and foremost thing, which is going to be building that paste, that tomato sauce that I talked about before, right? We want to take these tomatoes and we want to char them under the broiler, and blacken the skin, and then we're gonna blend it all up, and it's gonna be lovely. So, here's what I need to do. I realize I've left some stuff in the oven today because I'm in a New York City apartment, and that is just how things go sometimes. I have to put all this away. I got it as a gift. I don't know where it's from, I'm afraid. Okay. I'm gonna set the broiler on. And again, we want a super hot oven. We're not looking to fully cook through the tomatoes. All we really want to do is just basically blacken the skin. We want to blacken the skin, we're gonna turn everything to a really nice puree, okay? The blender is gonna be doing some work for us today. It's gonna be busy. All right. So, sheet tray laid out with a little bit of foil just to make my life easier once this is done boiling. I'm gonna glove up because we're about to cut up some tomatoes, and we're going to prep them. I just got my headphone case and not a glove. And we're going to prep them the same exact way that we always do them. And I'll show you guys what that looks like now. Okay, latex glove has been initialized. It's on. Here's all that we have to do, my friends. We go in, we take a tomato, we're gonna cut all of these bad boys in half. Okay? That's it. Just cut them in half. Nothing crazy. And the reason we cut them in half is so that we can access the coil. We go in with a little diagonal incision, and then into the waste bowl it goes because I don't want to blend up the coil of the tomato. It's just like a little bit woody. You can if you really want to, but the general rule of thumb with tomatoes is the bigger the tomato, the more tough and woody the stem is. So that's why like you would eat it on a cherry tomato and not really care about it. But on something like a plum tomato, you can go either way. And when you're eating like a big, like let's say like a beefsteak tomato, the coil is maybe at its like most woody and unpleasant to eat texture-wise. Okay, just like that, nice and simple. And the goal, once again, we're just going to char this so we get a little bit of extra smokiness, a little bit of extra roasted flavor out of it, and blend it all up. Instead of just, kind of sauteing, half boiling a tomato paste, it'll be a lot more interesting this way. To me, it's going to result in a much more delicious depth of flavor. We're able to actually process these and do something with them. Okay, now, in addition to that, we're going to need some green chili, or rather, in this case, a jalapeno, because I don't have access to green chilies near me. So one of these I'm actually going to char now, and the other one I'm going to chop up and have it fry with the rest of the aromatics, okay? And again, chilies are actually quite interchangeable in their fresh state. It's only really the dried chilies IMO that have like a lot of variation between them. And that's why I feel okay substituting with what I have and what is locally available for me. Okay. All I'm doing is I'm just taking the seeds out because we have no use for it. Trust me, this is going to have plenty of heat and we can always add more later on. And so de-seeding that just helps us to control it at this stage. Okay, lovely. And now I'm trying to think, you know what? No, we'll do garlic ginger paste in the rice itself. We're not going to worry about that right now. Here it is, my friends. The sheet tray lined up with the tomatoes. And then we're going to set it up under the broiler and we're going to blacken the skin. And then we're going to throw it into the blender. Green chili and jalapeno. Well, when people say green chili, they're usually referring to these kind of like longer and thinner chilies. Right? And they tend to have a little bit more heat. And in this case, a jalapeno is a little bit more mild. So we might just have to sub in more than usual, which is gonna be totally fine. And guys, once again, the general rule of thumb, whenever you're working with a broiler, you don't wanna step away from it too much, okay? Because it has a tendency to catch on fire sometimes. If you have something that splashes up at the fire above it, that is a difference. By the way, not a lot of people actually know the difference between broiling and then just baking something. Broiling is when you have a heating element that is on top and it's super, super intense and super hot on the top. And it's really nice for getting like a good crust on something quickly because it's able to reach like oven temperatures that your oven normally won't be able to do with regular heating. So you crank up the broiler, you're able to brown things on top. Also, hello, Saran. It's lovely to have you. And so that's what we're doing here. All we want to do, we just want to burn the skin. We don't care about fully cooking it through, and you don't want to walk away from it too much because it'll only take 5 minutes maximum, right, to get like the depth of color that I'm looking for. Okay, so we have to now think about everything that is going into the curry. We're going to have an assortment of spices. Also, hello, Zeno. Hope you're having a lovely day today. We're going to have an assortment of spices. It's going to fry in the oil. We're going to have some onions. We're going to have some potatoes. We're going to have some green beans. We're going to have the tomatoes. We're going to make that paste right now. We're going to have some garlic. So we have quite a few things to prep. And then for the coriander rice, we have to cook the rice in advance because we're going to mix it in with all the seasonings. We have to get the aromatics ready for it. We have a busy day ahead of us. We have a really busy day ahead of us. So I think we can just get started with the prep for the curry itself. Okay. I have a lot of vegetables to work with today, my friends. That one bass sound effect is in all the memes. Are you talking about a vine boom? Is that what you're talking about here? Oh, okay, then I guess I don't know. Okay, so once again, we're holding the core intact because we're gonna try to get a nice fine dice on the onion. And the core keeps the rest of the onion together. Just peeling off the skin. Yeah, that can go. Perfect. I should get my bench scraper out. Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. All right, my friends. This onion has now been officially peeled. I should have gotten my bench scraper ready, but that's okay. We're going to use that to clean up the boil. Right, because we have some stuck bits of skin and stuff, we can clean it up. Okay. Boop. Just like so. Excellent. And now, my friends, we have to get a nice small to medium dice on this onion because you don't want big pieces of onion in this curry. You kind of want it to become a part of everything else. The big pieces that you want to bite into are going to be the green beans and the potatoes, right? So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make, we're going to make some incisions. Why is my table shaking so much lately? Oh, I know why. I have something that is dangling on it. Okay, we're gonna make some vertical incisions parallel to the direction that the onion is going, right? Because think about it kind of as like a globe. So it's going up this way, and you want to make incisions parallel to those. Okay? And you're not cutting all the way through to the end. You're basically just fanning this onion out. Okay? And now we don't have to worry about doing any like horizontal incisions like this. Don't worry about that. We're just going to now get a nice small to medium dice on this onion. And this is what I mean by a small to medium dice. Okay? When I say a fine dice, I mean like the tiny, teeny tiny little cubes. This is going to suffice. And again, this isn't like a super fancy dish or anything. You don't have to get like too anal with the way that you're cutting these onions. But it's nice to put a little bit of extra love and care and attention into things like this. Okay, I am actually going to check on the stuff under the broiler, and we can see the amount of color that is already developed. All right, take a look. That's what I'm looking for. We're going to give that a little rotation, and we're going to have it go in for a little bit longer. And then we'll pull it out. We'll pull it out, we'll cool it off, and we'll blend it into a delicious paste. Okay. So, this batch is done, making sure that my bench scraper is clean because I use it to clean off the cutting board earlier. We're going to pick up all of these onions, and into the bowl here it goes. Excellent. Let's do the other onion now. Same exact idea. We're using our knuckles to be able to guide the incisions. Right? I know these knives are dull, but guess what? I have a new knife coming in, so I can actually rotate these and get them professionally sharpened, finally, after all this time. Okay. Did I make the tweet announcement today? Did I do that? Okay, I did. I was just checking. I thought for a second that I forgot to do so. Slicing down all the way. Excellent. Congratulations. We've officially chopped up one whole onion for this curry. And now I can probably go ahead and pull out the vegetables, the tomatoes and the jalapenos that are in the broiler at the moment. Why is Class of 09 trending for me? What is that about? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Let's go ahead and take this out. This is done to my liking. I don't need it to go any further at the moment. This is totally fine. Again, we're not looking to fully cook the tomatoes or anything. We just want it to blacken the skin so we can get a little bit of extra smokiness into the whole dish, okay? We get like those really nicely roasted and developed flavors. All right, that's done. The onion has officially been chopped up. Next, what do we have to prep? We have a shit ton of green beans. We have a comical amount of green beans. We have all of these that have to get prepped and ready to go. I have started to run out of clean bowls though, so I'm gonna have to use the bowls that I eat off of. Okay. So, and the green beans, by the way, I've thoroughly soaked and I've trimmed off all of the ends, okay? And now we have to think about the size that we want in the curry. Something like green beans, they're not going to shrink and shrivel up too much. You want to have them, in my mind, I want to have these be like half the size of the potatoes. Okay, and the potatoes, I'm going to cut them into fairly small pieces as well to make sure that they cook pretty evenly. So I think I'm going to do something along these lines. That's what I'm looking for this curry. These are the kinds of pieces I want to be able to bite into for today. And again, that's totally up to you and your own preference, but that's what I'm thinking about at the moment. So let's gather all of these up. Maybe that pile was too big. Come on, buddy. Howdy, howdy. Hope you're having a lovely day today. We're going to stack them up just like so. Grab a handful, stack it up, and then that way we're able to cut it all up nice and evenly. That's one, that's two, and again, if there's a couple of odd pieces, we'll live. It'll be okay. Let's go ahead and clean up this board. Boop. Excellent, and just keep going. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good day today. Okay, that should be plenty. Again, I want to be able to properly bite into a nice piece of green bean, but I don't want it so long that it's falling off of the forkful, okay? So there's a very nice delicate balance here. It is actually a fairly uncomfortable thing to have green beans that are like super long, because then you try to like fit into your mouth. It reminds me of eating like a whole salad, or a salad with like whole lettuce leaves inside, right? Where they like tear up massive, things of like radicchio and stuff. Also, hello, Taza. Oh, sick, I get to catch a dogger stream today. Well, welcome. All right. I don't like whole like chunk salads. I hate salads where I'm like biting into like a massive piece of like radicchio, like a massive like whole uncut romaine lettuce. It is just such an unpleasant thing because if it's a forkful, I don't want it to graze the sides of my mouth and my lips going in. I'm a big chopped salad guy. I'm a really, really big chopped salad advocate anytime that I can, okay? Good morning, Big Zach. I hope you're having a good day today. Just taking my time with cutting up these green beans. We have quite a bit to go through. And then we got to peel the potatoes, chop up the potatoes, soak them in water. Oh, canned green beans, okay, are miserable. They're so soft and overcooked. To me, there's nothing more tragic than an overcooked green vegetable. Green beans are meant to have a little bit of firmness, and they're meant to be seasoned and given a lot of love and a lot of affection. Okay? Yeah, no, chopped salads are based. They really are. They're just optimal. It is meta. Well, canned green beans are a little bit easier to work with, right? Because they're already washed and cooked and boiled, of course. But I feel like that's most Americans' exposure to green beans growing up. At least maybe in the 90s. I don't know how people are eating their vegetables these days. But that is what a lot of people grew up on when they say, oh, I hate green beans. These, on the other hand, are nice. You really shouldn't eat these raw because they might have some pathogens on them. It's also not really good for your stomach, but they're so sweet. Don't do it. Don't do what I just did. Well, you know what? I'm not your mom. Make your own choices. I did thoroughly wash these. On British mushy peas, actually those are really nice. I do like mushy peas. I like mushy legumes. But in this case, you're not really eating the legume as much as you're just eating the outside portion. And I like for it to have like that snap and that texture in it. Okay? But this is going to be a beautiful curry, my friends. Okay? Almost done. And then we got to worry about some other stuff. Guys, do as I say and not as I do. Unless I tell you to do what I do. Hope that helps and clears up any confusion that you might have had. Okay, these are a little annoying because they're so small and irregular in shape that I'm not going to be able to like stack these up and cut these too evenly. But you know what? I did it anyways. That's fine. Again, it doesn't have to be too perfect. It's not safe for Twitch. Oh, I love peas. I love fresh peas, man. Okay. Guess what? We have officially prepped an entire bowl of green beans. for the aloo beans curry. And now we gotta think about some of the other stuff. The tomatoes, I do want them to essentially fully cool down because I'm gonna put them in my Ninja blender. I really want my Vitamix. Check my throne out. I really want a Vitamix. But in the meantime, I'm gonna have to do with one of these fucking things. And in these, you can't actually blend anything hot. Okay, because the pressure builds up and it will explode once you open it. It's really, these things, I don't like these things very much. Anyhow, that's what we'll be using today, because that's what I have. I also don't know if I have the space for the Vitamix, but if I had one, I would treat it well, with a lot of respect and love. Okay. That was nothing. I just dropped a paring knife on my leg, and luckily it didn't stab me. I caught it with my thigh. That was quite dangerous. It just slid off the table. Is my knife okay? You okay, sweetie? Mwah. Okay, it's okay. Now, here's what I have to do. We gotta chop up some more of the aromatics that we need for the curry. We're going to do one of these jalapenos as well. One of them is going to get blended up, and the other we're going to saute in there so that we get like a different, we're showing off really different things about the chili, right? We're able to get like a full range of flavors from it. So let's go ahead and do that now. For the jalapeno itself, this is what we'll do. Go ahead and cut the head off. We're going to slice down the middle, just like so. We're going to pluck out all of the seeds. By the way, that's a really good tip if you ever accidentally drop a bottle of something, or like a glass thing. If you ever drop like a glass bottle or a jar, the thing that you do in kitchens, you just try to catch it with your foot so that it breaks the fall before it hits the heavy ground. Just try to slow down the fall. Not knives, not breaking knives, but breaking the fall of a glass container of any kind. That's how you stop a glass jar from just exploding on your floor and making a mess. It's a very nice little bit of advice that they'd actually just do in kitchens. Okay, let's see. This is mostly de-ribbed. I'm just gonna try to get in there and get the last of that bad boy. Fine, we'll go in there manually. We're going to slice this in half. Get the seeds off my knife. Come on, buddy. And off you go. Sweet. Cut this in half, that one's fine. Let's cut these up into thin strips. That's right, you just have to practice your reaction times, my friends. Nice, thin strips, okay? Can't wait for the day we start convincing Nat to add googly eyes to my kitchen cutlery. Oh, that sounds terrible. Okay. Oh shit, I did not turn on the air conditioner today. So, nice thin strips, and then I'm going to just go ahead and chop them perpendicularly to the strips. We've julienned them, and now it's time for us to get a very, very small dice, because I want the jalapenos to evenly distribute through the rest of the meal. Okay? You don't want big pieces of this. You want it to dissolve into everything else. Oh, guys, I'm so excited to get my knife sharpened. It's not gonna happen for like a little bit, but I also have a pretty cool knife coming in soon, which I'm very, very happy about. Okay, look at this. All the jalapeno chopped up nicely. And again, we're gonna have plenty more heat coming in later, so don't worry about it at the moment. We're gonna need more garlic than this. Are those jalapenos on that tray? Yes. Yeah. Chef Dara, what can I do to spice up boiling a pasta dish? It's literally just pasta, jar of sauce, and ground beef. Okay, you've actually asked me a really complicated question. Tap in for a second. How do we spice up a... Shit, that's the wrong scene. I did not mean to go there, I meant to go here. Okay. We gotta talk about this. And we gotta talk about the problem with the question that you just asked, because it's a good question to ask, but I'm going to give you the biggest non-answer. You ready? And the answer is, Italian cuisine, fundamentally speaking, is a minimalistic cuisine that is based off of ingredient quality. And guess what we do not have in the United States? Affordable ingredient quality. Because a lot of the flavor that people think that they're lacking from Italian food is substituted, is made up by just really, really beautiful, gorgeous sweet tomatoes, or like a really robust pasta that uses like a really nice type of wheat, or just like a lot of subtlety. It's a lot of subtlety using really good quality ingredients. And the issue is, when you don't have that kind of ingredient quality, and this is still like kind of an innately minimalistic cuisine, it's one of those that doesn't actually adapt all that well. And so you ask me, what can I do to make it more interesting? Well, that depends on you. That depends on how much are you willing to do. If you're going for a jarred sauce, that innately is a problem. Jarred sauces are pretty rough, and they're pretty expensive too, depending on how nice of a jarred sauce you're actually going to be getting. If you're making your own sauce, you can't really do like 2 fresh tomato sauces. You have to do like a heavily cooked marinara sauce, because we don't have tomatoes, especially this time of year, that are that good enough, unless you're working from like a canned Salmoretano tomato, right? Seasoning pasta needs to be done as you're cooking it. Yes. We're talking about going past just salt though. I think this discussion is going past salt. So my answer to your question is, you need to figure out how much stuff you want to actually do on your own. Because a jarred sauce with ground meat is going to taste like a jarred sauce with ground meat. But make a proper bolognese, grind up some pancetta and ground beef and veal, and that's an entirely different story. But that is a monetary investment in of itself, right? And so, what can you do? There's not a lot of spices in Italian cooking at all. But you can think about where to brown things a little better. You can think about getting a proper crust developed on your ground meat. Can I drop a YouTube video that might help? Yeah, go ahead, please. I know this was a very roundabout way of saying there isn't actually a very good answer to this question, but I hope this might have helped to some extent. I hope. And if it didn't, that's actually totally fine too. All right, and smashing up the garlic. I'm sorry that I couldn't actually provide something better for you at the moment. All right, garlic, we gotta smash all that up. And then we gotta peel off the skin once it's been smashed. While I can't see the YouTube video right now, who is that YouTube video by? You love the answer? Good. I'm glad it worked out. Okay, I do probably need to quickly run and grab my AC remote, because this kitchen is getting a little hot. It's getting a little too hot for my taste. And I am now uncomfortable. So give me 1 second, gamers. Okay. Where is it? Aha. Okay, that's been done. Sorry about that, guys. Got it all taken care of just for you. That's right, for you. It's by Internet Shaquille. Great. You know what? Oh God, am I gonna clout drop him? Yes, I will. He stopped by the stream a few times. Fucking love that guy. He's great. He's one of the few YouTube content creators and chefs I actually appreciate. Okay, we're gonna need a lot more garlic than that. I want garlic. I want flavor. I want pungency, my friends. I want to feel the oomph of fresh garlic. Okay? Yes, okay, motorbike down, but here's the thing. The things that you just mentioned, yes, sure. But it's going to give you much more of an American-Italian vibe, if that's what you're going for. You know what? Cook stuff longer. That's my answer to you. I think people don't cook their tomato sauces nearly long enough. There we go. Excellent. Great, happy to hear it. Cook your tomato sauces longer. People don't cook theirs enough. They cook it for 30 minutes and they're like, ooh, done. You're only doing that if you have a really nice tomato that you want to work with from the beginning. If you're working with average year-round American tomatoes, you want to cook that sauce for like an hour and a half, and I promise you, you're going to get a league of difference. You know what I hate? I don't like adding sugar to tomato sauces. That is a huge fucking pet peeve. You know why? If somebody adds sugar to tomato sauce, all I think in my head is, wow, they didn't cook their tomato sauce long enough. Okay. I just had to get that out of the way. Cook it long enough, and it will take care of all the sweetness that you possibly want it to. You don't have to load it up with onions. You don't have to add it in. I promise you, tomatoes can get the job done. You just have to cook it long enough. We have so much natural sugar and things that can be unlocked with a little bit of reduction and a little bit of time. Yes. Dunk a carrot in it and fish it out. You'd actually be surprised about the efficacy of a carrot and what it does in terms of sweetening up a sauce just by plunging it in. Or you can take maybe a fifth of the amount of carrot that you would have just dunked in and just chop it up instead. Super finely, grate it in or some shit, I don't know. And you'll feel it a lot more profoundly, and you'll waste less of that carrot. Okay. Just garlic is almost totally peeled, and we're gonna get a handy dandy little garlic press for it as well in just a moment. Ooh, this garlic is a little spoiled on the inside. Out you go, buddy. Okay, let me clean up my board really quick. Get all the garlic skin, all the little jalapenos off of it as well. Okay. I just smacked the shit out of you. I'm sorry, you guys okay? Hey, you doing all that, guys? That's me, like, no, don't worry about it. Anyhow, let's cut the butts off the garlic. I already did it to those, didn't I? I sure did. Great. Off they come. Snog? What the fuck? I've never heard somebody use snog as a sub in for fuck. What? That's crazy. That is a crazy thing that you've just said to me. Okay, let's get a garlic press out. This is gonna be the aromatics plate. So we're just getting organized. We're getting all of this stuff done now, so we don't have to worry about it later. Okay. Get that garlic in there, and out it goes. Get that garlic in there, and out it goes. Just we're repeating the process. UK slang for kiss? What is happening in the UK that's the slang for kiss? That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say to me. Oh, I have a lot of garlic to press, my friends. And again, it's totally fine if actually there's still like some pieces left. It'll be okay, I promise. What's going on out there? Nothing good. Nothing good at all. All right. It's a lot of garlic, isn't it? But it's what is going to give a lot of flavor to the curry, my friends. Oh no, Daramgar, you're touching garlic with your fingertips. Oh, it's gonna smell like garlic. I don't care. I do not care. I know nobody has ever said that to me. I'm actually just making up a guy to be upset at. Okay. Let's get all of those pieces back in there, shoved in there one more time, and press it through. Sweet. Now, I'm actually gonna just pick up my knife with a clean hand so it doesn't stick to the handle of my blade. That's right, it is. They're not gonna, yeah, nobody ever cares. Actually, no, one time I was visiting a friend and I had a big piece of raw onion off her burger because she didn't want it. And then she refused to kiss me after I ate it. I was very embarrassed. I was very, very embarrassed about that. I'm not gonna say who it is. You might actually know who it is. But I'm still thinking about it. I still feel embarrassed. I still feel the shame of what happened to me that day. Okay. Just rinsing it off now. Getting rid of all that. I should moisturize my hands again because, man, my skin is so dry. They were not committed to the smooching game. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. All right. That's a garlic. That's a jalapeno. I'm gonna quickly moisturize my paws. And now let's have a recap. We didn't do anything too crazy. We didn't do anything too fancy yet. We just chopped up the green beans, chopped up the onions, chopped up the jalapenos and the garlic too. I'm gonna go ahead and set aside my aromatics plate. I'm just moisturizing my hands. And now, I believe, you know what time it is, my friends? I believe it might be blend time, depending on where you're from, if that's your time zone. Okay, the sheet tray isn't hot anymore. So, here's what we're going to do. In the little blender cup, and I'm gonna show you guys the blending process, because I quite like you. Fucking, man, I hate these things. There's always some kind of smell of them. Something in it. All right, here's what's gonna happen. I'll glove up for this so I'm not touching like the tomato with my poor eczema hands. Okay, getting in there. So, we'll scoop up the tomatoes and we'll chuck them in. Chuck them in. Oh God. The British transformation, it's taking me over. God. Okay, that's all done skis. I'm gonna just peel off the foil and off it goes. We have no use for it anymore. We have no use for the sheet tray anymore either. It's still clean again because all we did was just put foil on it. And now we can begin the blend time. So let's go ahead and go on over to the stove. And we're going to need this blender for another thing. So this is not the last that we've seen of it. I know. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys can tell. Does this camera look better to you? I think it looks better. I don't think I fixed the exposure issues, but I think it's smoother than last time. I'm pretty sure it is. And if it's not, then it's fine. I just wanted to brag for a second, okay? I put a lot of effort in. Anyhow, I'm just gonna put a cutting board on. This shouldn't be hot, it's not hot. I'm gonna show you guys the blending process over here because I care about you guys so much and I want you all to witness this. Thank you. Okay, plugging that bad boy in. You guys can see? You guys can see. Okay, let's go ahead and get this in here. And we just want to blend it so nice and smooth. All the way through. I think it's done. We did it. Okay, I've actually just realized something. I think I forgot to set up the render delay on this. I might have to troubleshoot something with the stream really, really quickly because this is desynced. These are not on the same thing. Right? Okay. A little annoying. I might have to fix that. Because if I do this, that should be a little bit off time-wise, I think. Fine. I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna fix it myself, guys. Need 1 second, I need some patience, please. Thank you. Oh, okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Now we're gonna have to do that again. Just had to adjust something really quickly. Okay. Finally, we synced it back up. And now, my friends, we have our beautiful tomato puree that we made. This with the cherry tomatoes and the cherry jalapenos. Forbidden smoothie? No, this is a smoothie that's allowed. This one is allowed to be here. Okay? So, I'm gonna go ahead and put that blender away really quickly. We gotta work on some other components. We have to make the, pseudo chutney. We have to chop up the aromatics for the rice itself, because that has to happen. Can't forget about that, can we? And we should transfer that to a different container because I'm going to need this blender for when I do inevitably make that chutney. So let me find a suitable vessel to pour all of this good stuff in. Take a look. This is it, my friends. The pureed tomatoes and the jalapenos, nice and smooth all the way through. And that's going to go into the curry itself. And it's going to be delicious. So, what would be a suitable vessel for such a thing? I've run out of bowls, so this kind of a bowl will have to do, I'm afraid. Hello. Better late than never. I'm kidding. You guys can come here whenever you want. There is no obligation to be here on time. I'm not going to get offended or really upset at you. Okay. Great. That's done. I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. And now I'm going to just rinse off this equipment. Because, again, we don't need to, totally super clean rinse it off, but I am going to need it in a bit. So off all of it goes. Off it goes. Excellent. Because we're not going to try to get tomato in the coriander. That's kind of unnecessary there. Okay. So coriander is actually going to go into every single dish here. But we're going to have some coriander going into the chutney. We're going to have some of it being folded into the rice. We're going to have some of it be cooked in with the curry. And we're going to have some to garnish it as well. I like your kitchen space, very cozy for cooking. Thank you. I've tried my best to cultivate this space. Okay. So my friends, as usual, I have pre-washed cilantro. Bam. Yeah, there you go. I have this pre-washed cilantro in a Tupperware. This is what I always do. You see this device right here? This is a salad spinner. This is the most based investment that you could ever make. I don't care who you are, go buy a salad spinner. You know why? It washes my cilantro, and then I'm able to dry it off, and then I'm able to pack it in. Whenever I buy a thing of herbs, I'm always washing it, and then putting it into a container just like this with a little paper towel. and it's going to keep it fresh and crispy. The paper towel is a humidity regulator. And make sure that it's not too wet, it's not too dry. It's like a little silica packet, okay, that you'd find with your electronics. It's the same exact deal. So, let me clean up my station. Let's get rid of all of this. I'm going to take this tomato and this onion and put it behind me. We can move on with our lives. We can put it behind us now. Wait, you dry your cilantro? Yup, that's right. Well, dry as in, you always store it in water. Well, let me tell you something right now. You store your cilantro in water, and then you're like, oh me, oh my, I would love some cilantro for the dish. And then you take it out, and then it's sopping wet, and then you have to dry it with more paper towels. Salad spinning? Paper towel in a container like this, good for a week. Good for a week. This does it. This does it for me. This is what is optimal. This is what I do with any herbs. All of them. I store them all the exact same way. And you know what? It's never failed me. It's never failed me. It do be sopping wet, yep. And do you have a good time chopping it up when it's sopping wet? Do you have a good time doing that? I don't think so. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say, how much cilantro is that? This was like 1 head of cilantro. I don't fucking know. That's my answer. I'm sorry. I don't have anything more specific. Okay. So here's what we need to consider. Some of this is going to get blended up. And now we're going to portion that right now. Let's go into the blender cup. Let's figure out how much cilantro we actually, you know what? I'm gonna shove all of that. Yeah. All of that will actually just be for building the chutney itself. And the rest of it is going to be the one that we need to slice up. Some for garnish and some to cook in. I'm telling you, Tupperware, paper towel, after you wash it and dry it thoroughly, and salad spinners are so good for something like that. Okay, let's get the rest of the cilantro out on the board. I'm gonna use a bunch of it today. And again, I had some cilantro in my fridge that I wanted to get rid of, and thus, I'm making this dish. Okay. Now, I am just going to get rid of any of the big stems. Don't worry about the little ones or anything. I just don't like the texture of the big stems, hence I'm getting rid of it. Okay, going through it, just picking it all apart. It looks fine, this is fine. This is the last big one remaining, I believe. That should be basically it. Okay, this is fine. Now, here's what happens. Take it in your hand, in your paws, bunch it up. Take it, bunch it up, and then you're going to make slices, not chops, slices, as thin as you can go. Okay? We're not chopping it, we're not crushing it. We're using the full extent of the blade to get this job done. Job done. Oh. Wait, I saw on the World of Warcraft Twitter that the peon resigned. History was made that day. Gundam Revolution is going to get shut down in a few weeks, doing community matches to celebrate before it shows down. I see. So I'll join them when they go live. Understood? We usually just raid those anyways. At the end of these, right? I know nothing about Gundam at all. Not my kind of autism. I have the other kind, which is food autism. Okay. That's all Dunskies. We got the cilantro all chopped up. Sliced up, not chopped. And it's gonna go into this plate where I'm just organizing everything. Okay, jalapenos, cilantro. In fact, I do need to chop up some more jalapeno for the rice itself. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and do that now. Okay, I'm gonna cut it like this because then it's a lot easier for us to take the core out. I don't care too much about getting rid of every little teeny tiny seed. Yeah, I did need to chop this one up as well. Okay. And then last one, sweet. Clean up this board. And now, very thin slices down the jalapeno. Again, I'd be using it like a green chili if I had one. Wait, using them interchangeably? Which ones have you been using interchangeably? My attention span is terrible, and I don't know if that was something in reference to what I said. Okay. And now we line them up, just like so, and we just chop it up all the way through. Slicing and chopping, yes, no, not at all. In fact, I'm a very big chop hater. Unless you don't really care about the cutters on something, you don't really care about the knife that you're using, slicing is much better for your knife because you're using the whole surface of it. And chopping, on the other hand, does not, and it cleaves it like an axe, okay? All right, that's plenty fine enough. I'm going to get a different plate for this, because this is going to be what is used for the rice, okay? Okay. That's what's used for the rice. Lovely. I'm getting all the prep done now. This is how you want to cook, my friends. You want to cook in a way where you're getting all of the same tasks done in advance. You're building your mise en place. You're getting all of your ingredients out and ready to go, so that when it's time to cook, you're just able to go. Okay, nice and easy. Next, here's what has to happen. We got to get some ginger out. Gotta get some ginger out, we're gonna peel it, and we're going to chuck it in with the cilantro. I realized I did not have the foresight to preemptively get out the ginger, but that's okay. All right, where is it? Good boy, come here. Little piece of ginger, we don't want it to be overpoweringly gingery, and the music has stopped yet again. So, on it goes. Okay. And again, this is a fairly old piece of ginger, so I want to try to get a little bit more of that skin off than usual. It's a little bruised inside. It's not the freshest. You know how it is. Okay. Just peeling the whole thing off. Oh, Daramgar, you're not using a spoon. You're wasting so much ginger. I bought a whole sack of ginger for $2, and this is somewhat spoiled, so I don't care. It's fine. Nobody's ever said any of those things about me yet, but somebody will one day. One day. I'm getting ready for it. All right. Lovely. I think that's totally fine. And now we're going to chop this up into some smaller pieces. And into the blender cup it goes with the cilantro, okay? And then we got to get some cloves of garlic in there as well. A lot of garlic in this today. It's basically, it's in everything. Okay, 1 and 2. I guess I should also do the rest of that onion. Okay. 2 cloves should be plenty for the rice. And I don't think I need garlic in anything else. Just to build the chutney, which is then going to get folded and cooked into the rice. All right? Great. Smash that down. Smash that down. Get it all out of here. And by the way, a blender like this isn't actually ideal for something like the cilantro because it has the risk of heating it up too much. But it's okay. Country girls make do. And when you heat it up too much, you kill a lot of the flavor in the cilantro, a lot of the aroma as well. Right? So again, not ideal, but country girls make do. This is the only option, really. I don't have a mortar and pestle that I would dedicate for this job. Okay. Rough chunks. Oh no. Oh, that's brutal. It's all just to sell products. It's pretty sad. Okay. I'm trying to think, what else do I need in this chutney? We need some already ground cumin. There's going to be more fried cumin seeds, so don't worry about that quite yet. But some pre-ground cumin. Oh, shit. Just a little bit. Don't go too crazy with it, okay? Just like that. That's already out. We're going to do a little splash of water. A little bit. It's just going to help get everything nice and smooth. We're going to hit it with a pinch of salt. And then everything else is going to be fried. We're going to fry the spices. We're going to bloom them in oil. It's going to be lovely. Okay? Salt. Sweet. And then I believe it's time for us to actually blend 2.0. So I have no idea why I already put the blender away. But let's get that station set up one more time for us. And we're just getting all the prep work done because we have a lot of shit to do. Let's come back over to the stove. That's not the stove, is it? This is the stove. Get that blender cap on. I've left it somewhere, and I don't know where it is. Aha, found it. And again, this is just cilantro, a little bit of cumin, ginger, and garlic. And you want to periodically stop it. And you want to shake it up a little bit because it doesn't do so well with thicker pastes. Get a load of that guy. And again, you don't want to blend it for too long. This is kind of what I'm looking for. All right, very vibrant and very green still. And the only thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to inspect it for any big chunks remaining. Okay. Because you don't want any big chunks of that garlic or onion, or the garlic or the ginger rather, but that looks perfect. Okay, sweet. I'm going to pour that out into a much more manageable vessel. So we'll do it in this little cup. So that when it's time to pull it out, we don't have to pull it out of this fucking thing. And this is all going to get added to the rice. Very green, isn't it? That it is. Actually, it just does the job on its own. It's loose enough. No, I think this one is actually like a little bit more neon than that. But I like the way you're thinking. God, man, that slime shit was fucking weird. I don't like it. To me, it seemed like the most overstimulating thing imaginable. I was always like, ugh, who wants to do this? What is the enjoyment out of this? It must be the most fucking uncomfortable thing alive. Alright? I couldn't get it. I never understood it. Okay. Alright, you know what I need? I need a little bit of water. I don't have a glass of water. Let's get some now. Last thing we have to do, we're gonna have to chop up half an onion. And that onion is gonna go towards the rice itself. And then we have to peel up some potatoes and wash the rice. So 3 more things left to prep, and then we can begin properly cooking, my friends. Now I can put the blender away just the way it was intended to be. Chill out. Okay, my friends. Oh, now the slime must have smelled awful, but this cilantro right here, with the garlic and the ginger, that smells divine. That actually really does smell lovely. Okay, let's wipe down this because it has some of the paste on it. And we need to chop up about half or a quarter of an onion for the rice itself. We don't need too much. We don't need to go too crazy. Okay. Just like that. Ugh. In fact, yeah, we'll just do a quarter of the onion. It's a pretty big onion. The rest of this I'm going to put into the fridge. We'll use it another time. All right. Getting all the prep work done. So, for this onion, I don't want it in tiny pieces. I want thin slices, okay? And we're going to do it parallel to the grain of the onion. So, here's what we do. We take it, and we cut it like this. As thin as you can go. But I want nice long pieces in the rice. Look at that. Perfect. All done. Let's get that onto the same plate as a jalapeno because they're going to go in at the exact same time. It'll all fit. We'll make it fit. Okay? Beautiful. That's the onion and the jalapeno. That's the chutney all done. And now, the last steps are going to be peeling the potatoes, soaking it in some water, and then, oh shit, I don't have a bowl big enough for the potatoes. Uh-oh. Or do I? Oh. Did I touch my face again after I chopped the jalapeno? I'm an idiot. I'm good at cooking, but I am not smart. Now we forgot it, okay? All right, we're gonna do that bowl. We're gonna fill that up with some cold water. And you have to soak your potatoes in water because by the time that you're ready to use them, they have a risk of oxidizing. And you don't want them to oxidize, all right? Okay, my friends. That bowl of water is now ready to go. Let's get to peeling these potatoes. I'm gonna glove up because they get quite starchy, they get quite sticky, and I'd prefer to be gloved up for this kind of operation. And again, you don't really have to wash your potatoes if you peel them. We're just going to rinse them under the water after we're done peeling them. You guys ready for this process? We're gonna peel some fucking potatoes. That's what we're gonna do. And then we're gonna chop them up into pieces. And you're gonna see the kind of pieces that we're gonna do. They're gonna be about twice the size of the green bean, but they're not gonna be too big or anything. All right, potatoes going on now. These are just skin on gold white potatoes. And then you're gonna take your peeler and you're going to move your vegetable, your potato, around the peeler and not vice versa. I miss having Natalie here because she would adjust my hair anytime I would be doing something a little messier where my hands would be occupied. And I want to get it out of my face. But that's okay. We'll power through. We'll get it done ourselves. All right. Peel up the potato. Excellent. Looks good. Peel up the potato. Look at that. What a nice looking potato, huh? Look at this little guy. Look how cute he is. He's so happy to be here. I might not use all of these potatoes. I'm gonna see how I feel after I peel them. I might leave one or two out there. And I think this is actually all of the chopping that I needed to do. We might have to retire the cutting board, which is pretty exciting. I'm glad we can get it all done. And the last step is gonna be washing the basmati rice. And we have to cook it in advance because I almost just splashed a shit ton of water. That would have been awful. That would have been horrendous. That would have been... Okay, you know what? I'm glad it didn't happen. Oh, the mess that would have made. I am not thinking about it. I am not imagining it. Nope. Not at all. Okay. I will say, of all the repetitive kitchen tasks, I think I enjoy peeling potatoes the most. It is the one I can't get tired of. Because let me tell you, when you have a nice sharp tool, and you're just not fighting against the potato, you're just getting it done, it's the best. Best feeling alive, baby. Okay. I do want to try getting better at like spiraling through the whole potato and getting it all off in one peel. Knives are a little better at doing that. And it's not really necessary, nor is it the most efficient, but it definitely is a flex. And you look really cool doing it. So I should teach myself how to do that at some point or another. Okay. Honestly, also girl, hello, welcome. When you live in the European countryside, yeah? Let me see, can I do the, spin around fucking potato peel? No, I can't do that very well. Again, knives are kind of best for that. Also, thank you so much for the sub. It's lovely to have you. Okay. Peeling up the taters. Getting it done. Ugh. Now I'm trying to think. Are these potatoes going to suffice? Suffice? Breaking down broccoli is fun, right? You just stand it up on itself, and it's great. Is this going to be enough? I kind of want the same amount. Yeah, I'm gonna have to leave one potato. I think I'm gonna leave one. I think doing all 7 of these would be too much. I'll just figure out what to do with it next time. It's one potato. I'll just buy more if I need them. This is a potato dish as much as it is a green bean dish, right? So, We don't want either one of them to overpower each other. We just want them to work together in harmony, in unison. Okay? Great. That's all done. Potatoes have now been peeled. We're gonna chop them up. These are gold potatoes, or rather white potatoes. I actually don't know the difference too much. I think I bought them as white potatoes, but they look kind of similar, if not identical, to gold potatoes. Okay, this I'm gonna throw into the fridge. I have no use for it. And now, let's chop them up, and I'm gonna show you exactly the kind of pieces I want for this dish. So think about the size of a green bean when you're doing these, okay? You don't want massive chunks of potato. They're gonna take forever to cook if you do them that way. I like to do them for a dish like this. Let's cut these in half lengthwise, and then we're almost going to cut them around like so. These are the kinds of pieces of potato that I want. I don't know if there's a name for this kind of cut, but we're just going around the curvature, and then we're cutting it into perfect quarters. Rather, let's see, this is half. These are eighths. This is a 16th. And I guess this is a 32th of a potato. Quite fine. But again, I want these kinds of pieces. I want them to fry up a little bit in the seasoned oil we're gonna make. And I don't want them to be massive pieces. I want to be able to get in the same bite, okay? In the same exact bite as the green beans, I want to be able to have a similar amount of potato. So that's all chopped up, just like that, just like that. Sweet, got it done. Call that a small chunk, that's right. Small, slightly elongated chunk. Okay? Okay? It does stick to your knife, but such is the life of cutting potatoes. You can't do without. Hello, hello, lovely to see you. You hungies? Guess what? Me too. I've had a little chips and hummus today. I've had a little shepherd salad. I've not had anything too substantial. And this is going to be my most substantial meal of the day. You know, I do like them in longer pieces like that, but it's okay. Too late. We're going and breaking all of it down. And the potatoes, you do want them to all be somewhat similar in size. If you want to be ever careful with your knife cuts, it would be for the potato. You don't want to have some that are so overcooked that they're breaking apart. And you don't want to have some that are so fine that they'll break apart. You don't have some that are so big that they're raw inside. Have I ever had fondue? I have. I'm not crazy about it. What is a shepherd salad? A shepherd salad is a Middle Eastern, or specifically the one that I grew up eating is a Turkish salad, with tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, feta, and parsley. Although the feta would be optional, the cucumbers and parsley and onions would not be. Okay, maybe the bench scraper would be good at picking these up, but that's okay. All right, we don't have that many more potatoes to go. And we're gonna rinse out this water, and you'll see what we do with it. Boop. We do have to make the basmati rice though. And we'll have two dishes cooking simultaneously. We'll have both the curry cooking and the rice going. Although the rice is going to be really easy. We just boil the rice and then we cook up all of the stuff that's going to go in it, essentially. Fondue is okay. I've just never understood it much, I think. Never understood the appeal. I think it's like a really white person thing of like, there's like a, what's the restaurant chain in the United States called? Melting Pot or some shit? Yes, yeah. Lemon juice and olive oil. Or rather, no. I think the shepherd salads I have, they wouldn't have lemon juice, but they would have vinegar in it. I think that's actually a pretty important distinction, if I am not mistaken. It's been a while since I've made shepherd salad. It's a very easy salad, but it's really, really tasty stuff. Have I ever had fondue bourguignon? What is fondue bourguignon? Did I say that right? Please tell me I said that right. I love getting approval from French people. I'm not sure totally what that is right off the bat. Okay. Potatoes are almost done being chopped up. And it's nice to get all of your prep work done and out of the way, because the cook time for this isn't going to be that crazy. Okay, that's done. We did it. Congratulations, everybody. Dum, ba, da, 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 da. You're not clapping. Can we get some claps in chat? Can people start clapping? You can do like asterisk clap. That would be good. Sorry about that. Okay. We did it. Let me exchange the water really quickly. We're going to soak it in fresh water to stop it from oxidizing. Okay. And again, I got rid of the dirty water. The most American meal we have in Europe. It's like a fondue. You have boiling oil. Instead of breadcrumbs, you have some meat parts. That's not real. Oh my God, I fucking see that. I saw that shit on TikTok. I think I saw that shit on TikTok. I think that's what happened. That sounds familiar to me. In fact, I think I saw Gordon Ramsay go to a restaurant once that did the fondue bourguignon and criticize him. I don't like that guy. Okay, I'm just cleaning off my station, my friends. Getting all that done. And now let's just take a look at everything that we have accomplished thus far, because we have accomplished quite a bit. So, we have a lot of components. We have a lot of things that are going into this today. First step, we have the green beans chopped up. This is for the curry. Okay. Then we have the chutney. This is going to be going into the rice. We have some onions and jalapeno here. That's also going to be going into the rice. We have a bunch of garlic, jalapenos, and cilantro. This is all going into the curry. We have the potatoes nicely chopped up and ready to go. We have the red onions that are going into the curry. And then we also have this tomato jalapeno puree that we roasted, we charred, we got nice and smoky, and that's gonna go into the curry. So we have a lot of stuff going on. Now let me get all of this off the table because I don't need it here. We do not need this in front of me at the moment. All right, here's what's gonna happen. I have a bunch of basmati rice. We gotta wash the basmati rice. You guys have seen me wash rice on the stream a bunch of times. I'm gonna explain to you guys how it goes again. So, and here it goes. We're going to turn the fingers into a bit of a claw shape. We're going to claw grip this. Okay? We're going to agitate the rice. We're going to do it until the water runs clear. I'm going to bring it up to a boil, drop it down to a simmer, and let it cook until it's cooked. Basmati rice can take 15 minutes. It can take 20 minutes. It just depends on what you have going on. While I'm washing the rice, I'm going to look at Twitch chat on my phone. I'm going to show you guys how much water I want above it. The rice we can get done in advance, so it's just done and out of the way, because it's going to get mixed into the fresh seasoning. So I'm opening Twitch chat on my phone. Entertain me while I do this process. Let's see. Excellent. Let's get to the sink. We're over at the sink. Now you guys can't say anything behind my back, because I've set up a system in which to avoid that now. But yeah, we're just going to agitate the rice with our fingers. We're going to wash it over and over until the water runs clear. And we're going to season the rice later in the mixture. We're going to cook it bland. Right, just basically straight rice. Eyes in the back of the head, that's right. That's right, I'm not going to catch any of you guys slipping at all. So I'm just agitating the rice, I'm washing it. I want the rice super, super granular and super individual. So we want to get rid of as much excess starch as we can, and we're going to do a little less water than we usually do, because the rice is going to get mixed in with a bunch of oil, with a bunch of spices, with a bunch of extra moisture that's going to be from the onions and the chutney. And we want to make sure the rice is granular and not mushy before it hits that point. Okay? Great, happy to hear it. Almost done. I'll show you guys what the final product looks like in a second. Chef behind. Yeah, you're crossing through behind in my own home kitchen. Okay. And guess what, my friends? The rice has now officially been washed. As many pass-throughs as it takes. There is no set amount of times that you have to do it. You just basically do it till the job's done. Job done. So think of that guy. Think of that guy saying it. That's when you know the job's done. Okay. Let's take a look. What does job done look like? Look at the water. Basically totally clear all the way through. And now, if you shake it like this, you're not going to evenly distribute the rice in a flat layer. You're going to get waves of it. This is fluid dynamics. This is just physics. So here's what you do. You take your hand, you turn it into a cloth, and you go around it like so, and you might give it a little shake while you do that, but point is, this distributes the rice. My hand's not big enough for this one, actually. For my other saucepan, my hand is suited for it. This isn't doing that good of a job of distributing it, actually. That's fine. Okay, how much water do I need? I need a little bit over the surface of the rice. I'm doing less than I usually do, because the less you do, the more granular and separated your rice is going to be. And the more you do, the more mushy and clumped together it's going to be. Okay? Take a look now. That is how much water I want above the rice. For me, for my fingers, that's just going halfway up my fingernail. Lovely. That's washed up. We're going to go ahead and throw that onto the heat, my friends. And then we have, oh my God, is that all the prep that we need to do? Can we actually just get cooking now? We washed the rice. We chopped everything up. Oh my God. And again, the theory of cooking this rice is going to be the same as usual, where we bring it to a boil, drop to semi-cook for 15 minutes. The last thing I guess we have to do is we have to assemble the spice blends that we'll be using for today. Well, I guess we're just going to kind of wing that part. Okay, it's time to cook. Jesse, we have to cook. Let's get on over to the stove, my friends. Now is where all of this begins. So, I couldn't actually, unfortunately, acquire any mustard seed oil, which is what is really often traditionally used in Indian cooking. So I'm going to do whatever neutral oil that I have on hand. In this case, it's going to be peanut oil. You can use whatever neutral oil you like. I like peanut oil and I like canola oil. Okay? And we want a generous, guys, we want a generous amount of oil here, because all of this is going to be going into the curry. We have a lot of potatoes to go through. Something is burning. I think I have some egg that was left on the grates. Okay, generous amount of oil. And into this we'll be going, once this is heated up a little bit, we'll be going the cumin seeds and the mustard seeds. I don't have any black mustard seeds, I only have the yellow ones. What makes an oil neutral? Great question. An oil is made neutral when it doesn't have a lot of flavor. Okay? Think vegetable oil, canola oil, peanut oil. You're not really tasting it and they don't burn as easily. A non-neutral oil is something like olive oil. So, peanut oil, that's what I have on hand. It doesn't matter too much. In Indian cooking, you traditionally use mustard seed oil, or you would cook in ghee, or you would cook in coconut oil. Those are the three main oils that are used. And I don't have any of them. I quite like ghee, but in the vegetarian and vegan dishes, you don't see ghee nearly as much. And yeah, okay, oil's heating up. We're gonna do a shit ton of cumin seeds, a bunch of it. And it's all gonna fry together. It's gonna fry together really, really nicely. And I do mean a generous amount, okay? Cumin is a fantastic spice. It's warm and beautiful. I mean like a generous amount. This is a lot of curry we're making curry. So all those cumin seeds going in now. And then we're also going to toss in, at the same time, the yellow mustard seeds. And again, traditionally, you would use black mustard seeds for something like this, and we compensate by going in with more yellow mustard seeds than we usually would do, because they're more mild in flavor. So about that much. Big old pinch. And because this is a really, really nice pan, we're going to be using a wooden tool. We're not going to use any metal on this. All right, my friends? And you want to stir this often, but not as often as if you were to just regularly toast it. And this is called blooming. Blooming is an essential technique in Indian cooking. You cannot have Indian food without blooming your spices, frying them in oil. Here's what you're doing. You're developing a little bit of flavor, you're toasting your spices, and you're dissolving a lot of the aromatic compounds into the oil itself. So there's a lot happening here. I'm actually going to drain the potatoes in the meantime as well, because we want them to be bone dry when we go in, because it's going to fry in that oil too. Okay? And I should also grab a little lid. Yeah, you want to get those potatoes dry. They're not going to oxidize now. I'm going to go grab a lid for that basmati rice. Ah, come on, buddy. I got you. I'll take care of you. Too big, but that's okay. 15 minutes. actually hasn't boiled yet. We'll have that cook for another second. We'll stir up all the spices in that oil. We just want to fry it very, very gently before we go in with the onions. Okay, this money, guys, anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, great. Glad we're all on the same page. Oh, and the smell of that oil is now really, really coming into play. You can smell the cumin coming off of it. You can smell those mustard seeds as well cooking along. We're gonna have that fry in that oil for a minute or two longer. And then we'll throw in the onions and everything else going in. This is gonna be super flavorful curry. I should also get the pan out that I'll be putting the rice into in a little bit. Well, not the rice, but all the stuff that I'm going to cook. That's gonna go into the rice instead. Okay. And this is where the other stuff is gonna happen. All right, mix it around. It's looking good. It's going to continue to fry. So now we'll go in with all of the chopped onions, that one small red onion that we chopped up beautifully. It's going in now. We're gonna build a little bit of color. Great, y'all following along? Awesome. And so those are the spices that really needed to fry so we can get all the flavor out and dissolved into the oil. Oh, that heat is too high on the rice. We're gonna hit this all with a nice amount of salt. And soon we're gonna go in with the potatoes because the onions and the potatoes take about the same time to fry in total. And the smell is already fantastic. The mustard seeds, the cumin seeds, it's really, really lovely stuff. We don't have any chili powder because we're just doing the jalapenos instead. That will be going in there. We'll have some ground coriander going in a little bit. And so there's some spices that you want to fry and there's some spices that you don't really want to fry. In this case, we don't really want to fry the turmeric too much. We don't want to fry the coriander too much. But we want to fry the mustard seeds and the cumin itself. And then the garam masala typically gets added closer to the end of applications. Right, so you're frying your whole spices. Well, actually, I could have done a couple of pods. I'm going to throw those in now. I have a couple of pods of black cardamom. Very nice and aromatic. Going in now. Just 2 should be fine. I should have done that sooner, but that's okay. Just frying the whole thing up. And we want to give the potatoes a head start. We want the potatoes to actually fry in the oil. And the green beans will never get like a proper fry on it once everything is actually built up in the pan. The beans are just going to be added closer towards the end and almost like stew down. It's going to be nice. Okay. Potatoes can go in now. And we're going to try our best to develop some color and everything. Okay? So that heat up, you want a medium high, whatever you can really push. And you want to mix everything all the way around. And we'll see how much color we'll actually be capable of getting on these potatoes. Smells phenomenal at the moment. Okay, just make sure you're scooping up all the onions from the bottom and putting it back onto the top. Okay? So that none of the onions on the bottom burn and the potatoes have a chance to fry. And you want to leave those potatoes alone for a little bit. We want to see if we can actually develop any crust on it, and if we don't, that's fine too. And I'll add the garlic in a little bit later. I should have added the jalapeno by now. Oh well. The garlic is going to get added closer towards the end though. Jalapeno in now. Lovely. Okay. And now let's see how much of a fry we can get on these potatoes, my friends. Hey Dara, how's it going? It's going pretty well. How about you, Titanium Chef? Hope you're having a lovely day today. Okay. Potatoes going, mustard seeds are in there, the jalapenos are in there. We'll add the garlic in a little bit, and the rest of the spices, which is going to be the coriander and the turmeric. And then we'll add in the tomato puree that we made. And then the green beans. And the green beans are going to be added at the end. And then we put a lid on everything and then we cook it until it's done. In the meantime, I am actually just going to build the next thing that we need, which is the seasoning for the rice. And so the seasoning for the rice on this pan is going to be the oil. It's going to be some more cumin seeds, some more mustard seeds. It's going to be some bay leaves that we fry in there. The onion and the jalapeno. Not calling it cilantro is pretty neat. The reason I'm doing that is because, well, I feel like when it comes to a lot of like Indian or European cooking, it's called coriander, right? And then when you feel like making like Mexican food, it's called cilantro. They're the same thing ultimately, but that's the only reason I'm calling it coriander in this case. Kind of like a when in Rome type deal. All right, I wanna see if we can fry these potatoes. I don't think we will. We can always hope, can't we? Covered in cumin seeds, full of flavor. Let's get that heat on there. And we'll also do, once again, a little bit of oil. We don't need as much oil this time around. Doing good, just chilling, doing chores. Well, it's lovely to have you. A little bit of oil this time. We don't need a crazy amount. It's a very small amount of rice, relatively speaking. We're going to heat that oil up, and then there is also going to go the cumin and the mustard seeds as well. Great. Let's have a little sip of water now that we have like a second to chill out. Lovely. Yeah, it's quite wet at the bottom, which isn't letting us get too much of a fry. But let's see if we can evaporate any of it at all. Ah, excellent. Rice is going. Once the rice is done, it's just going to get mixed up. It's going to get folded into everything that we'll be preparing over here. I'm going to start getting rid of stuff, start throwing it into the dishwasher while everything is cooking. Okay. I'm going to have my next coaster set up. Where are my cumin seeds? Did I already put them away somewhere? No, they're right here. Lovely. Cumin seeds, nice big handful of these guys going in yet again. Fry them up, get them nice and toasted. Bloom that spice. Some more mustard seeds as well. Oh, that's quite a few, but it'll be fine. And then I'll do a small wooden spoon for these. Have them fry in there a little bit. Great. Oh yeah, that's frying, that's looking great at the moment. My heat might be a little too high for this kind of vessel. That's totally okay. Oh, it smells wonderful. That is deeply, deeply aromatic now. Excellent. And we're going to keep the spices moving so they don't like burn on one side, right? You want to make sure that your heat is at like a nice medium when we're toasting spices. Let's also toast some bay leaves, actually, while we got it. Let's get some bay leaves into the mix of it all. That should be plenty. These bay leaves aren't the freshest by any means. A little bit old at this point. How are we doing, guys? We keeping up? You guys following along? Okay. Let's take a look at the potatoes now. Oh yeah, that we can now tell is frying, and it's starting to slightly stick at the bottom too. You want to make sure that you're picking that up and putting it back in, because if something sticks, it has the risk of burning, okay? So, we're scraping up the bottom, we're putting it back in through everything else. Oh, it smells wonderful. Not banging the side of anything. Great, it's looking good. This still isn't frying too much yet. And this is going to be quite simple. This is just going to be the onions. Dried bay leaves are more intense in flavor. It's a good question. I don't actually know. I think they're just like shelf stable. And yet you don't like typically see fresh bay leaves be sold in that many places anymore. So I actually don't entirely know, and that might not be my expertise in this case. I do apologize. I should look into that myself. Okay, come on. Let's get those potatoes fried, if possible. Okay, this is starting to splash a little bit. The spices are toasting, they're going. And into all of that oil, we're going to go in with the red onion and the jalapeno as well. Perfect. Mix it all around. And we're going to fry that generously. We're building the seasoning for the rice here. Okay, let's take another look at all this. All right, it's fine if things stick to the bottom. It's all going to come back to thicken the curry at the end of the day. And now we can probably do the garlic. Garlic going in now. And I'm going to get a spoon out for the turmeric and the garam masala, because those are about to go in once we give the garlic a little fry as well. A lot going on, lots to juggle here, but we're doing it all. This is the oil and the spices and the onions that will all go into the rice. Beautiful. Smells excellent. And the final step, we're going to fry the chutney for just a little bit. We're not going to fry it for too long, because we don't want to kill all the flavor in the cilantro. We just want to tone it down and cook some of the ginger and garlic inside of the chutney that we have prepared. So all of this stuff right here, it's going to go inside of the onions and whatnot. All right, this we have to keep mixing, because we just added the garlic. We don't want the garlic to burn on the bottom. Oh, that smells wonderful. Okay? And now, my friends, we can go in with all of the other components. So, the roasted tomatoes and jalapeno, all of that is going in now. And we're basically going to reduce and thicken the whole thing. And it's going to cook the potatoes simultaneously. That extra liquid is pretty essential there. So tomatoes, jalapenos, charred and pureed, added in now. I'm going to give this another stir through so this doesn't burn. This does have to be babysit a little bit. And the rice is almost going to be done. Okay, and now into the potatoes. We're building that potato curry out now. This all happens fairly quickly. We're going to go in with a nice generous spoonful of the turmeric. Generous, and I do mean generous. Then the garam masala. Come on, buddy. In you go. Lovely. How much am I using? I do not know. I am just simply going with my heart with something like this, okay? And you don't typically like dry and fry spices that are already ground, right? For something like dried and ground turmeric and dried and ground garam masala. Okay, this is about to be pulled off the heat as soon as we add the chutney. But first, we're going to mix all of this through. We're going to essentially deglaze and scrape up everything that's on the bottom. We're going to add the beans, cover, and cook. So this, all we're doing now, we're just going to cook this until the potatoes are all done. They've had a bit of a head start when it came to the frying. And now we add the green beans, and we're timing everything because the green beans take significantly less to cook. And the rice is about to be finished as well, which means we'll have a little bit of downtime. So, mixing everything through, all the spices. In fact, the only thing I'm missing here is a big generous pinch of salt. Really don't want that to burn. Big thing of salt, because this doesn't have any seasoning in it, minus the spices. So that's the green beans now, the garam masala, the turmeric. And we'll also do half of the cilantro, half of the coriander. And more is going to be for garnish. I just like having some cooked coriander as well. I think it's a very nice touch. Okay. And now, my friends, this is all ready to go. This is all combined. All we have to do now we stop, we lower the heat, and we're gonna slap a lid on it until it's done. And that can take, I don't know, this can take like 10 minutes. That lid is too small. How's this lid? Excellent. So I'm gonna set a timer preemptively for 10 minutes. The rice might be done. We're going to go ahead and check up on that right now. See how that's doing? Come on, buddy, open sesame. Let's have a little taste. We have to mix it through and let it steam. Perfect. That's a kind of grain individuality that I'm looking for out of basmati. Okay, nice, long, fluffy grains, but they're all kept together. That's exactly what you want. So here's what we do. We take it, we mix it through, and then we leave it alone. Set timer, 10 minutes. The onions have fried, the spices have fried. Now the last step is going to be adding in the chutney, my friends. And this isn't going to take too long to fry. I should have started the potatoes a little bit sooner because everything is basically done. And now we can kill the heat. Again, this is just to give it a little bit of cooking before it gets mixed into everything else. Oh, it smells wonderful. The garlic, the ginger, the onions, everything. Just a little bit of cooking, just that much. Nothing else more. Okay, guess what? I think we've done it all. They've been slimed. Oh God, I suppose you're right. That's just cooking now. That's just going. We're waiting for the potatoes to be cooked all the way through. And I do wonder, do I have enough moisture to be able to do that? And I think I do. Let's give that a nice mix through. Oh, that smells divine. Guys, are you seeing this curry? That looks beautiful. Perhaps a pre-boil on the potato would have been nice too, but I wanted to see if I could get any amount of fry on the potato. All right, we'll pack it down tight, and we'll just keep cooking it. And that's why we wanted small pieces on the potato. Small pieces so they can cook like this, even without necessarily needing to boil them, okay? Onions are done, rice is done. All the components have actually just been finished at this point. I'm gonna clean up my station a little bit while we have a little bit of downtime. And then we'll see if we can plate ourselves up a nice big bowl and we'll taste everything. I'm gonna just take care of all the spices that I have lying around the kitchen. How we doing? Okay. Just saving myself the trouble of having to clean anything later on. Okay. The salt I'm still going to need. The cardamom I do have to repackage into a different container. I'll do that after the stream ends though. Good, good. Happy to hear that. Let's see, this bowl we're also done with. And then I'm gonna mix in all of that coriander into the rice. It's gonna be beautiful. My dishwasher is full of the metal bowls that I didn't have for today because they were all dirty before I even started, which does kind of suck, but that's okay. It's a masterpiece for its time and worth giving a go. I've never played Half-Life. Maybe that like ages people. Like when they hear that, they just get like a little psychic shock of like, oh, ow. But I've never played Half-Life before. Baking an apple pie from scratch, I'm using crushed up graham crackers. That's fine. For the top though, you will need some fat. You need some fat for it to conduct the heat. So if you want to do ground up graham crackers, I would do a bunch of melted butter in there as well. A nice healthy amount. That'd be my suggestion to you if you're looking for suggestions, of course. Let's lift up these potatoes and give them a stir to make sure that it's cooking evenly and not more on the bottom or anything, okay? Oh, look at this curry. Look at this fucking curry, dude. This looks incredible. And the starch from the potatoes is gonna help thicken everything. Oh, yes. That looks wonderful. Okay, guess what? It is time for us to mix in the cilantro exclamation mark recipe. This is all my own. All of this is my own, actually, that you're watching right now. So can't give a recipe on something like that. All I'm showing you guys is techniques and fundamentals and concepts. So we made the coriander paste with the onions, with the bay leaves, the garlic, and the ginger as well. We're adding it into the basmati rice. And the only thing this also needs is a big pinch of salt as well. Okay? Let's give it the old switcheroo. Let's switch it over. And I need some salt. And we're gonna put a lid on it. Let's grab our device, our tool. Mix this all into the rice, my friends. And then we'll give it a nice taste. Delicious. Ah, I spilled some. And the basmati rice is so aromatic. And don't worry about the rice being too salty, because it's the job of the curry to be fully seasoned. All right? Oh, gorgeous. Very nice. Very happy about this. Right? Nice little shade of green, very nice and vibrant. Well, actually, it's a light green, but that's okay. And now I'm going to give this a taste to see how we did. Oh, shit. Oh, that's delicious. That's really good. That rice is perfect, especially when it's going to have a curry on top. That was really yummy. Okay, the curry, we have to give another mix through because it's starting to stick a little bit on the bottom. You want to be scraping up the bottom and put it back through everything else. And then in 5 minutes, we'll taste and see how this is doing. Oh, this looks wonderful. Ah, excellent. This is the kind of meal that I was looking for today. Want something really nice and hearty and delicious. Actually, this was all quite simple, really. The only thing that was effort was all of like the prep work to be able to get into everything. But the actual cook times in all of these are not long by any means. All right. Gotta wash up that knife later. Gotta find a way to put up that garam masala. Oh, and then we're about to plate up really soon. Appreciate you guys for all being here, having a fairly chill stream today. A little bit less chaotic than we had last time around. Last time, Wednesday, there was a little bit of chaos. It's got the fried spices, it's got the toasted spices. I'm really excited to eat this. Especially because I have not had like a proper sized meal today. Dude, this rice, oh, the grain individuality and separation. I'm telling you, guys, do you see? I'm gonna show you guys the grain individuality and separation on this rice really quickly, okay? You see this? This is only possible because we washed it so thoroughly and we added so little water to actually cook the rice. That way, we avoid getting clumpy, mushy rice. We're gonna do some more fresh coriander in there and just mix all of that in. Look at the individuality on it. That's exactly what I wanted for today. If you ever get clumpy, mushy rice, you've either A, not washed it enough, B, you stirred it while it was cooking, or C, added too much water. Do not add too much water for rice. Do not. It absorbs its own volume and then a little bit more on top to account for evaporation for something like this. And you follow the same exact theory if you were to do something, say, like a fried rice. If you're doing a fried rice, you want to have rice that is just that granular and that separated. The more water you add, the more it's going to absorb and the softer it gets. I like very soft, squishy, starchy rice for some applications. In this case, I wanted a granular, individual, and separated rice. And that's exactly what I just got, okay? So, pretty happy about it all. Let's give these potatoes another stir through. Got the potatoes on the bottom. The beans are cooking through really nicely. Oh, dude, this curry looks incredible. I tried a little bit of what was on the spoon. Mint. That was, well, there's actually no mint in this, but that was really yummy. We might have to do a little bit more garam masala. Otherwise, the taste is pretty fantastic. The cumin in there, the mustard seeds, fantastic. I'm wondering, maybe I should finish it with some fenugreek too? No. I don't think we should. We'll give that another minute and then we'll taste the texture of the potato. And we'll see if that needs any more cook time. That's the only thing I was kind of worried about when doing this dish, was seeing if the potato would be done in time. So it's got 1 more minute on it, and then we'll give it a taste. We'll see how it is. And then if it's ready to go, we'll just plate up and eat. This should be a fairly short stream today. Oh my God. I don't even think we're gonna break 2 hours. My bad. I should have done one more thing. Last time I did too many things, and now I didn't do enough. C'est la vie, or the French person would say, something the equivalent of. I'm just gonna get these things back into the oven from where they once came. My carbon steel pan and my other sheet tray. Okay, and now the timer is going off. Let's have a taste of that potato, and we'll see how it's going. That is kind of the texture I'm looking for. I'm not looking for anything too soupy today. So in terms of the moisture that is remaining in here, that's kind of on point. And now, I'm gonna take some potato. I'm gonna have it out on a little plate. We're gonna taste this for seasoning and for texture and doneness. We don't want a potato that's falling apart. We want to have some firmness, but definitely not crunchy. Really yummy. That's delicious. But, to my taste, that potato is still a touch too firm. So all we're gonna do a splash of water in there, just so it doesn't dry out on the bottom. And we'll do some more garam masala. Splash of water. We'll also do some more salt. That much, you don't need too much. It's just gonna help cook the potatoes, okay? Let's get a teaspoon of garam masala in there. Lovely. And some more salt. A couple big pinches just like that. And we'll mix all of it in. Lid it up, and we'll give it 5 more minutes. Make sure the spices and the seasoning is as evenly distributed as it could be. And I guess I'm also going to taste one of the green beans in the meantime too. See how that's going for us. Really delicious and still nice and firm, which is exactly what I wanted. I did not want a boiled, mushy string bean. Oh, that's nice. I'm really happy about that. Over that rice, it'll be a steal. I guess now, while we're just waiting for that to cook, because it just needs 5 minutes and then we're done. Final questions, comments, concerns, anything that you want to say to me? Anything at all? This is your time to do it. Because then we're just gonna plate, eat, and then we'll get it out of here. Yeah, I'm sorry about this being such a short stream today. I didn't account for it to all go so quickly. I thought, you know what, we'll get through the prep, and that'll take a little bit of time, but I need to figure out a way. You know, it'd be really cool if I had a way to peep into a cooking pot. If I had an X-ray vision, if I could get a cross-section of a cooking pot, if I could figure out the technology to do that and shove a camera inside, I would do it. But alas, that's not an option, because that's not the way that things work. We can't put a camera into a boiling pot of curry. Such is how it goes, I suppose. But yes, any questions at all that you have about food or otherwise, and I am happy to answer them, happy to talk about it. It is nice to have a little bit of downtime for once, because I feel like with my last bunch of streams, I've been fucking running around. It's a nice little change of pace. But let's recap what we did. We did a lot. And I feel like this stream really showcases the beauty of what it means to do all of your prep work in advance, right? To have your mise en place, right? Have all of your ingredients out, ready, that have all been chopped up, and ready to go and ready to cook with. Because once you do that, you just have to just throw it in and cook. You don't have to try to juggle the time management of like, oh shit, this is boiling, I have to cut this, do that, brrr. It's a lot. Get all the prep done in advance, and then you're just able to chill, able to chill out, being able to hang out. which is ideal. The only issue with doing that kind of prep work, that like restaurant level of prep work, is the amount of dishes you're creating is actually quite high. It's not one pot by any means, but like you saw firsthand the amount of bowls that I used up for today. But I don't mind, because to me, it creates a much better and much more enjoyable workflow and product. Oh yeah, okay. Beautiful. I should have done a raita, because with coriander rice, or at least with like pulao rice, you would sometimes do like a little yogurt cucumber sauce called raita, but I did not do that. It would have been nice. I'm a little annoyed about myself in retrospect. It would have given like this really like heavy, like roasted spice dish, some like fresh brightness, some fresh acidity, that kind of thing. I'm saving some of the cilantro to put on top as a garnish. And I guess in the meantime, the one thing that we can do is think about the plate that we'll be doing this on. All right? It's really good stuff. It's really, really good. Okay, let's think about the plate. Maybe we'll just do a bowl. I think a bowl would be a lot more practical for something like this. We'll do a bowl, and we'll have the rice in the same bowl. Or do I do that? We'll do two separate bowls. We'll do two separate, and I'll get a slightly smaller one. This is the rice vessel, and this is the one for the rest of the food. Okay. And we can just plate up the rice now. Oh, the rice is gorgeous. Really aromatic, nice and granular and separated. Exactly the way I would want for a dish like this. Look at that. Delicious. It's really, really simple, but when it's eaten together with the curry, just by itself, it's really flavorful and really aromatic thanks to the tomato cilantro chutney that we did. Okay. And now the curry is about to be pulled off as well. And I think that was now the appropriate amount of time. So in total, okay, it needed like 12 to 15 minutes of extra like steaming with the lid on to get fully cooked. I am going to taste test it one more time. Did I put that plate away? I did not. What am I yumming on? I ate some of the rice that we just made. Some of the coriander rice. All right, let's get a little taste of that now. Let's see how the potato is in terms of firmness, now that it had a little bit more time to cook. Oh, that is boiling. I did just take that out. Oh, it's hot. Okay. It's done cooking. That's done. The potato green bean curry, the aloo bean curry, beautiful. And it's just filled with that incredible sauce. And tomato. Let's go ahead and fill up this bowl. Yeah, listen, I do this all the time. It's okay. Green beans. Excellent. And I think that is a plenty big portion for somebody like myself. Okay, my friends, I believe this is it for us today. And now a little bit of cilantro on top. That's it. That's your meal. Let me get the rest of this. It is excellent. Okay. All right, my friends, it is time for us to eat. So let's talk a little bit about what we made today. Let's get, you know what? Let's get a nice flattering angle of it all. Let's talk about what we made today. So over here, we have a gorgeous coriander rice. So we made a chutney ourselves with a bit of coriander, with a bit of ginger, with a bit of garlic. We blended it all up together. We fried some mustard seeds. We fried some cumin seeds. We fried some bay leaves in a bunch of oil. We added in the chutney with some onions as well. And then we folded that in to some freshly cooked basmati rice. And then over here, we have some really nice potatoes, some really nice green beans made into a curry. So what I did was I had some tomatoes, I had some green chilies, I broiled it, I charred the skin, I turned it into a puree. In oil, I fried more mustard seeds, more cumin seeds, plenty of cumin seeds, a shit ton of cumin seeds in fact. I fried some onions, I fried some garlic, I fried some jalapenos, I fried the potatoes and all of that. Then I added the green beans, then I added the tomato puree, and I added a bunch of garam masala. I added a bunch of turmeric, and then I added some coriander to cook in, and then I finished it with some more coriander on top. And it's gonna go alongside this beautiful rice right here. So I'm gonna have them organized into the same spoonful. Oh, that is so good. The green beans, they still have like a really nice firmness. They still have a really nice texture to them. They're not cooked to shit. The potatoes aren't falling apart either. Really, really nice, beautifully spiced. It's really, really flavorful. And by the way, this is one of the first times I'm ever doing any kind of Indian food. Now, I'm very familiar with Indian food. I've consumed a lot and watched a lot of content on it. But I've never been able to before because I've never had like whole spices. I've never had like whole black cardamom at home. I never had like whole mustard seeds. And so this is something that I based off a couple of other dishes, but I just want to show you guys like the techniques and the methods for blooming and frying your spices, for stewing everything together. That it does. That it does. This. That is flavorful. That is exactly what I'm looking for. That is pretty wonderful stuff. Get some green beans in there. Really lovely. It's got that oomph, you know, it has that taste. It's aromatic, it's spicy, and it's got a little bit of acidity to it from the tomatoes. And the potatoes are so nice and tender. I love potato curry so much. They really just soak up everything so well, and they're like an excellent medium. And this rice is so simple. It's wonderful. It's really special. I'm very happy about this. It is, isn't it? It's got this really nice shade of green. It's filled with that coriander chutney that we made. I don't cook basmati rice very often. I do a lot of other grains of rice. I'm very proud. Look how individual and separated it is. And that's what you're looking for. You're not looking for mushy clumps of rice. You want something like this. This all tastes really special. It is quite spicy. I keep moaning every time I take a bite. It is just that good. And this was nice because the entire intention of this, the way that this meal started, was I looked at my fridge and I saw I have a shit ton of cilantro and I have a shit ton of green beans and I've gotten rid of all of it. I've gotten rid of all of it and I made it into an excellent meal. This potato beans dish Might just go into my rotation of things what to do with green beans. Because normally I'd be like, okay, I'd do like a chicken pot pie with them or something. Or I would do like a creamed green bean like you would do like a creamed spinach. But I really like it like this. I really love it in a stew. In a curry. They've got good bite to them. It's all about the vegetables in that dish. It's very like bean forward. Rather, in some bean curries I've seen, there's only very little. But this is all about the beans. I like being able to feature it because when you have a pound of green beans that you need to get rid of, getting rid of just a handful of it's not going to do anything for you at all. It's going to be totally useless. And when you do it like this, use it all. Holy shit, that's good. God damn. I'm quite proud of myself. I really am. That is a wonderful curry. Okay. Who is currently streaming right now? Salty is. Salty was the first food streamer that I ever watched. I haven't seen him do a cooking stream in a while, but I see that he's playing Apex, so we'll probably rate him after the stream. I fucking love Indian food, dude. And don't have enough of it. My area does not have any good Indian food. And so, I'm usually left without it. All right, everybody. This is going to be it for the stream. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to see you guys next time. It's going to be Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, not 3. We've changed the Sunday schedule. So I'm going to see you at on Sunday, at 6 o'clock. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day today. Hope you all have a lovely, wonderful Friday evening. Go out, go do something fun. Or, I don't know, make yourself a nice dinner like this. And I'll see you guys in just a couple of days. So